everyone. Today is I'm going to be doing my first mixed media project for November. I'm going to be doing a canvas. It's going to be kind of vintagey. I've got this image, which is rice paper, and I've actually adhered it to a piece of copy paper. I'm going to cut that out, and going to be playing with Cadence products and stenciling, using gesso and other things as well. So I'll go through everything as I'm using them. So I'm going to turn you to overhead and we'll make a start. Okay, so I know that I've got to cut this out first, but I know kind of whereabout I want this. So first thing I want to do really is use my structure paste and do some stenciling, and I'm going to kind of have this heart going down here. So that's I want this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move that out the way and straighten that up. I need some tape just to mask off some areas that I don't want the texture paste to go on. I'll put that there. And this stencil's from Sue Baker, Presents the Birds and Blossom. Collection. And so I'll put that there. There we go. So I just want this on first, and I'm using the white structure paste. I have got a palette knife somewhere. There we go. So, and all I'm going to do is just move it down so I've got the whole of the, I really like this little heart. So we'll just always use the back of your palette knife. And I like to put it at an angle as well. Oh, knickers. That wasn't clever. I bet it's moved as well. Let's see if I've made a boo-boo of this. Oh no, it's okay. I've got a bowl of hot soapy water as well, where I'm going to put my stencil. And so I want to use these little butterflies, but I'm going to use them later. So what I'm going to do is just pop that to one side. So you can see. So I will be using more stencils, but because I want to use this stencil again, what I'm going to do is just mask these off and get a baby wipe and just wipe that off so I don't excuse me. There we go. Just wipe it so it doesn't damage my canvas. So I'm going to leave that to one side to dry, And then I'm going to just put that to one side because I'm going to use that again. Dry my... Always clean your utensils or tools after you've used the structure paste, because it can... the other stencil I'm going to use is, I want this script, which I'm going to add on there with some wax. So the colour I've gone for is, this is the hybrid acrylic paint, and it's a Victoria Pink, which is a kind of, and I'm going to mix it with the gesso because I want it vintagey, and I've got some corners as well. Got some corners, and I've got an assortment of cream flowers which I want to use as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give this a blast with the heat gun and get it dry off, and then I'm going to cut it out. There we go. So get my scissors out, and I'm just going to, I like this, it's got kind of like a key and some lace, and I'm just going to cut this out. And while I'm cutting it out, I'm going to actually fast forward and play some music for you, because I think the last thing you want to do is watch me in real time cutting this out. So enjoy the music. So there we go. So that's that done. Just going to pop that on there. So I want to pick some of these flowers. I'm going to stick with roses, I think, for this one. Just want one more. And what I'm going to do is, excuse me, so I want it kind of vintagey. I've got 5 of the flowers, so what I want to do is, I'm going to get my mixed media sprays and my spraying my spray box, and what I'm going to do is I've got a brown, I think I've got a light brown, I think. Actually managed to sort everything out, so I'm just going to give them, I'm not going to totally cover them, I just want to give them a couple of spritz, she says. Oh, Hold on, what the heck's the matter with this now? Here we are. So I've done that. And then I've got the shaking gilt. And as you can see, the gilt is on the bottom. So I'm just going to there we go. So if I bring it up close to you, you can see. Get this one up. So I'll just leave them in there now and let them dry, separate them so they'll dry. So I'm just kind of, and I've not done a bad kind of contrast with the corners. Put that back up there out the way. And while I'm waiting for that, I've got a little tub, and I'm going to add some gesso to my tub. Just leave that a minute. I'm using the Victoria pink. I just want a little. Have I used this before? Might be a good idea if I took the lid off. See how nice a pink that is? It's like a vintage pink. And I hope that's enough. I don't want it kind of what I might add is a little bit of brown. Oh, never mind. I know kind of, I want a pink, but I don't want it, how can I describe it? I want an antique pink. Let's add a bit of water to this. What I'm thinking I might do is add some, I'll put that brown spray away. Don't want to add any more pink to that. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to add some brown. That's it. That's the colour I wanted. That's the colour I wanted. Right, so I need to now make sure that the, I'll just pop that there. Make sure the canvas is dry. Up there. Right, okay, so because the canvas is very dry, I like to just wet it, and that is the colour that I wanted, a nice antique pink. by adding the water, because the gesso is quite thick, by adding the water it's more free flowing. The paint. Yeah, so that is the colour of the pink I wanted, so I'm just going to paint round the edges now. And so this is one of the things that I like about the Cadence products, is that I've used gesso, I've used the hybrid, but I've also used the mixed media spray to get the tone of pink that I wanted, and they all work together. They don't react against each other, they just work so well together, and I just love them. Really, really do love them. Wasn't quite the pink I wanted, but once I added the brown, I got exactly the colour I wanted for this particular canvas. So yeah, so I like to experiment and play with my mixed media products, and you learn something new every day, I think. And that's what life's all about, isn't it? Learning. It's been a foggy morning here, but the sun's deciding to break through. And we had fireworks here last night, and the cats weren't impressed, but they weren't frightened or anything. They just kind of weren't shaking with fear. In fact, they were sat at sat on the windowsill watching the fireworks. Would you believe? Just doesn't bother them at all. They were in the conservatory when they first started going off, and I think the conservatory is not as insulated as the rest of the house, so they come flying in the lounge. So we had company last night for a change. Usually they spend their nights in the conservatory, or in George's case, on top of my units in my kitchen. It's a little monkey he is. There we are. That is that. I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with that colour. So, and this is one of Rick's asthma containers, you know, it has his medicine in. So I said, oh, I'll have them. So they're handy for mixing my pot colours. So I'm going to give this a quick blast with the heat gun, and then we'll start and kind of put things together. Okay, so I'm thinking of putting that there like that. Putting that there like that. And having the corners either side. Corners either side, and having the flowers here. But I want to do some stenciling, so I need to to glue this. Right, okay, so I'm going to actually use the fabric decoupage glue and use this. Okay, let's pop this on here like this. Right, so what I'm going to do is turn it over. And flatten it like that. There we go. Just clean that brush so it doesn't. Okay. So that's that. So now I want to come in with my stipple brush and some black wax, and I'm going to start and add some text. So right, okay. So take some off the brush and just don't want too much on, and I'll just stipple. What I find is if I kind of do this first and then stipple, I'm likely to, because it's a box canvas instead of a flat canvas, it kind of moves, so I'm not and then what I'll do is I'll stipple it now, because I know I've got actually inside everything that I want. I will now stipple. There we go. I want some over here as well now. So I'm just doing circular motions because it's a box. canvas, it's easier to do it this way, especially if you're not using your spatula. And I quite like that I get kind of dark and light. I can get, so if you see here, I'm really dark here and then it goes fainter and fainter. So if I take that off, that should be done. There we go. And I think I'll just put a bit more up here. Just put a bit more up here. There we go. Quite liking that. I'm quite pleased with that. So what I want to do now is just highlight. So I'm just dragging the brush. I'm not adding anything on. There's enough on the brush just to highlight. Highlight the stenciled area. Makes it pop from the canvas, because obviously I've painted it the same colour. So all I'm doing is just going over the raised area of the canvas. There we go. So it really makes it pop now. Right, so what I want to do next is I want to need to wash that. Right, now that needs to go in soapy water. And I want to use these little things, and I'm going to use some of this dark pink. Where's my spatula gone? Oh, there it is. So I'm just going to get a little bit out. And I want a small stipple brush. And where are they? There they are. So it's go. Here. So it's all about layers on layers. So we've got stenciling, we've got, there we go. I think I'll add a few more down here. Yeah, I think I'll add a few more here in this corner, I think. There we go. So we've got them there, there and there. And I'm going to just with what's left on the brush. I'm going to bring it in to the heart over the black. So, just to give it a bit more definition. There we go. We can see. So I'm just kind of marrying everything up together, so it all you know, it all works together. Right, what do I need to do now? First off, I need to plug in my glue gun. While that's doing, I need some of this and this. I'm going to use some of the glossy accents to put my corners in. It's a really good strong adhesive, so I know they won't fall off. There we go. Oh gosh, that wasn't clever, was it? Moved it. Why won't this see? That's sat straight away. Just flatten it. I think it's because it's not straight. See, these things happen. I'll just start again. There we go. Just leave that and that'll dry. Right. Now I just need to bring in the flowers. Just move that out the way, don't need that. Don't need that, that's for washing. That needs to go in the thingy. To go in there. Right, okay. Let's see. Oh, these are dry. So I'm thinking of just having them come down like that. Just to so I think that's what I'm going to do. And I need I'm going in the middle there. Right, okay. So all I've got to do now is just add some the edges. Do you know what I think I might do? I might do it with the darker pink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this onto here, spritz a little brown. Whoops. So I've mixed the brown spray with the pink. And then I'm going to get a stipple brush, she says. A little stipple brush. There we go, I've got one. So it's a different colour. Not a different colour, different. Just go around the edges. Right, let's have some of this. Oh, so just put a little bit of the finger wax. Again, this is water based, so it'll work really well. Oh. No. Do you know what I'm going to do? Look at the colour of that, that's filthy. I'm going to use the brown instead of the black. There we go. Always clean your sprays after you use them. There we go. So I'm going to use I'm not going to use the black. I might. Let's just see if I've got a fan brush here. I haven't. Let's see if I can use one of them. Let's see how this goes. Well, that's better, actually. You know me and my splats. I think I found a better way of doing it without getting it all over the flipping place. You know what I'm like, don't you? End up with half of it on me. And I might actually go in with the brown, the black. Because it's got a little bit of sparkle in it. I might just add a bit of the black. Not much. Just go over these flowers. There we are. That's done. So I'm quite pleased with how that's turned out. I hope you've enjoyed watching. So we've got lots of different layers. I'm really chuffed with the splats. And until next time, everybody, happy crafting, and don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and when you do subscribe, just click on the bell icon, and whenever my videos upload, you'll get notification. And bye bye for now, everybody. See you soon.